Assalamualaikum. Hi Farhan, how are you?
Hi Farisyah, how are you?
Yeah, how is your Raya celebration with your family?
Okay, Raya celebration was great. It's a Hari Raya. Everybody was terkejut because we Raya one day early and it was fun. After 2.5 years, 2 years, we have not been celebrating Raya, and finally this year we got a chance to actually celebrate Raya. And I celebrated at Kuantan.
Wow, in Kuantan. Which part of Kuantan?
Exactly, it's called Kampung Permatang Badak lah. Kampung Permatang Badak, and it's actually my in-laws place. Because the last 2 years, because my family, my parents is in KL, so for the last 2 years we have been celebrating Raya in KL. So after 2 years, this year kita celebrate kat Kuantan.
Okay, so can you tell us more about yourself?
Okay. I'm 45, going to be 46 this year. Okay. The reason why I'm still in the state of denial because I'm a December baby. I'm an engineer by training, so I've been 21 years in the corporate world. I'm not doing any more engineering. I'm into digital space at the moment, and for the last 2.5 years, I've been doing something about digital transformation within my current role.
Yes, and I have been actively following you on LinkedIn, and I'm really inspired to know that you are one of the few Malaysians to own a Tesla. Okay. And can you tell us more about Tesla and why you're interested in Tesla technology and a Tesla car?
Okay, well, to say that I'm one of the few Malaysian, probably maybe in year 2020, when I first got the car in December 2020, I was maybe one of the first few that got a Tesla, and it's a Tesla Model 3 long range. Yes, but my first encounter with Tesla started off way back in 2017. It was during an exhibition. I had an opportunity to actually sit at the back seat of a Tesla while somebody is testing it, and it was a lot of fun. Looking at the technology that Tesla offer. So from then on, I put a goal or an aspiration to actually own a Tesla. But back 2017, it was not something that is feasible because there's nobody actually bringing in Tesla officially to the public.
To Malaysia.
There was somebody bringing it officially to Malaysia, but it was not officially to the public. Only in 2020 when I met a school friend actually, who is actually a great importer. I've asked him, can you help me bring in Tesla? And he said no problem. So the rest is history. So it has been 16 months.
And we are still like, wow, sangat-sangat teruja, like wow, inspired. Okay, thank you so much, Farhan, for sharing with us more about yourself and also about Tesla. So can you tell us more about your journey? How did you started with Tesla?
Okay. As mentioned before, I first got the experience live with Tesla 2017, but it was not accessible directly to the public. You can own Tesla back then through a program run by Malaysian Green Tech Corporation, and it's not something that is feasible for me. So in 2018, I bought a plug-in hybrid. One of the reasons why I bought in plug-in hybrid is because I love the acceleration and the power behind the hybrid. That is actually a transition towards a full electric vehicle. So 2020, suddenly out of some business work, I've met again with the guy who showed me Tesla in 2017.
And he's the one who introduced you.
Yeah,
to
he actually told me that while you wait for your opportunity to own a Tesla, why don't you start your journey as an EV owner with a smaller EV? So again, I know a lot of people are wanting to buy Tesla straight away, but if you think that is out of your reach, you should start first with something that is affordable. So in Malaysia,
you have to start from the basic first.
It depends lah. So if you want to experience how an EV looks like or feels like, in Malaysia now you have an option either to rent If you want to buy the cheapest one, you can buy the first generation Zoe, which is around 50,000. That is the first, my first electric vehicle actually. I bought a Zoe at, I think that was about 56,000 ringgit. So I drove it for about 3 months, understand how EV driving, how does EV feel. And then out of a sudden, I met my schoolmate, which is Raja Petra. He's one of the great importer. So I asked him, can you help me bring a new Tesla? He said, it's not a problem. And then I just put an order. So by December 2020, the Tesla was delivered to me. And since then, it has been 40, I think now the mileage is about 42,000 kilometers. And actually, people ask me, how does it feel? Actually, every time I drive the car, it feels like you are entering a new car.
Wow.
So that's the experience of an EV.
Okay, that's
the experience.
Okay, so thank you for sharing with us your journey on owning a Tesla. Now moving on to the next question. What is the comparison between owning an EV vehicle and a non-EV vehicle?
Okay, so this question, nak jawab dia mungkin is a little bit controversial. Of course, if you want to own an EV, maybe at the capital outlay or the amount of money that you have to put up front is slightly on the high side compared to owning a normal petrol car. But at this point in time, because of the tax incentive given by the government, I think the cost of EV, the initial ownership cost has gone down substantially. For example, owning a Tesla way back in 2020 when I first bought in, if I look at the price, the same price now, I can save another 60,000 just because of the tax incentive. So that's a significant reduction, and people who want to go to EV should take advantage of this 2 years tax period. But if you look at the running cost of an EV, kalau kita tahu kan, EV is only about 20% moving component compared to an ICE vehicle, the internal combustion engine. The reason being, there's very minimum rotating parts within it because you now have taken out the engine.
Right.
What you have is just a battery connected to a motor, and the gear is also a single gear. Hence, because of that, comparatively, the maintenance cost of an EV is very, very minimal. I can say from my experience, for the last 16 months, the only maintenance activity that I've done with this car is number one, pump in the air for the tire. Number two, fill up the wiper fluid. And the third one is I did a tire rotation and wheel alignment and balancing that cost me around 260 ringgit. The first two is almost free, and the third one, because it's already 40,000 kilometers, I had to change the tire. That's the most expensive thing about owning a Tesla in terms of maintenance cost, because you need to change the tire anyway for if you own another car, right?
So basically you save a lot of money owning an EV.
Yeah, from maintenance bit. Now let's go on how about some people ask me, how does your electricity bill end?
Yeah.
Because now you are owning an EV. Number one, we've got to ensure, we got to know that I don't fuel up petrol anymore. Now the fuel price, if anyone follows the fuel price, last 1 week, RON 97 is 4 ringgit 31 cent.
Yeah, RON 95?
RON 95 still maintained at 205. But for this car, even at the highest electricity rate at 57 cent, for me to have a range of 500 kilometers, because this car can go to 500 kilometers, it will only cost me around 32 ringgit for 500 kilometers. 32
ringgit
for increase in electricity bill. And as a result of that, on monthly basis, my electricity bill increased by around 350 to 400 ringgit.
Right.
But my fuel bill, my fuel cost that used to be around 800 ringgit, now reduced to zero. So if you make comparison, I save around 50% compared to if I'm driving a petrol car or an ICE vehicle.
Right. So you save 50% as compared to like normal vehicle.
Yeah.
So that's the privilege of owning an EV.
Yeah, that's the privilege owning an EV. You got to fork out a little bit when you want to buy the EV. But as I said, you can still get the cheapest one, which is 148,000.
148,000
which is a Kona electric. And start your journey as an EV user.
Right. Okay. So now Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to explore the insides of Tesla cars. So come, join us. So we're gonna go inside the Tesla car and explore. Wow, I just can't believe that I am inside a Tesla car in Malaysia. Thank you so much, Farhan, for giving us this opportunity. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Okay, approximately how long or how far can a fully charged EV travel in Malaysia?
Okay, this question is a little bit tricky to answer, but let's look from the Tesla that you are in. This is a Tesla Model 3 long range year 2020. Why I need to mention that? Because there's some upgrade that happened for a 2022 model. So this car comes with a 72 kilowatt hour battery pack, and with the efficiency that this car has, it can travel on average around between 450 to 480 kilometer in a single charge at an average of 110 kilometer per hour. So kita follow Malaysian traffic speed limit.
Yeah.
So you can safely travel 450. So kalau you tanya, if you ask about how far, this car can go 450. So a similar car to this, for example, a newly delivered BMW iX, I think it has a slightly bigger battery size, but the range is slightly lower. It all depends on the efficiency of the car. But Tesla Model 3, we know it's one of the best EV that have the best efficiency. So I can safely travel 450 kilometer and arrive at major destination that is required by my work.
Wow. Okay, and the next question. What are your expectations and hopes for the EV industry in Malaysia?
Okay. Obviously, I hope that with the tax incentive, we would see more adoption of EV. More people would actually consider to actually change from ICE to EV. At the same time, within this tax incentive period of 2 years, when the car starts to increase, you could see other infrastructure starts to pop up. What is required as the car grows, we need more charging infrastructure. By the increase in EV and the infrastructure in Malaysia, we hope to see other space within the EV ecosystem, such as job opportunities to also happen in Malaysia. Because I think government of Malaysia has given 2 years incentive for CBU, but at the same time it also give 5-year incentive if it's a CKD EV. So in Malaysia now, we know, for example, Volvo is the first one who delivered a CKD EV. So they would get a 5-year tax incentive. So if you have a CKD manufacturing plant in Malaysia, you would obviously EV industry would be developed in such a way more jobs will be created, and hence it will help the economy of Malaysia. So that is my hope. More adoption, more infrastructure, job opportunity, and finally boosting economy, as well as actually increasing the tax savviness of Malaysian. So that's 5 things that I hope for Malaysia.
Okay, so the next question. Do you have any intention to buy a new model of Tesla or another EV in the future?
Obviously, if I had the opportunity, I would want to actually own the Model S, the highest specification that is called Model S Plaid, which has an acceleration of, I think, 0 to 100 in less than 2 seconds.
Wow.
That's the ultimate Tesla from the perspective of the technology within it. Other EV, kena tunggu. Maybe something happen in July or August. Maybe this dark night akan ada sibling dia. Kita nanti-nantikan.
Nanti tambah adik dia lagi.
So that's yeah, obviously macam saya kata, I have an EV, the Tesla. At the same time, I also have a PHEV, which is a hybrid. My next move is actually to go full electric, and kalau ada rezeki, I would like to change that hybrid to another electric vehicle.
Question, and this is the final question for the show. So Farhan, what would be your advice to people out there, especially to the young people out there who are interested to own and buy a Tesla, and how do they start?
Okay, we know at this point in time the price of an EV is slightly on the premium side compared to a normal car. And for example, this Tesla itself, the base model is around 330,000. It's almost the price of a premium European brand such as BMW or Mercedes. So for young generations, if you are looking forward towards owning a Tesla, my my humble advice is to have a good financial planning. You know what's the price. Be patient. Do not make the decision in a hurry, because as we know, the highest cost in an EV is the battery itself. And as the world and technology progress, the price of battery will continue to go down. And I believe in the next 5 years, we would see a better electric vehicle that would come out into the market. And at that point in time, I hope that the younger generation would make a decision whether owning a Tesla or having a different ownership model is the best way to go. The price is there at this point in time. You know, you need to save money, you need to have a good financial planning. But in the end, if it's not something that you can't afford, you can obviously look for an opportunity to rent an electric vehicle at this point in time, because there are companies outside there that provide rental services. At least you can have experience of driving an EV.
Yes, you get the feel.
Yes.
You get the feel and thrill of driving an EV vehicle. And this advice is not just only for the younger generation, but it also applies to everyone out there who are interested to buy and own an EV vehicle, right, Farhan?
Yeah. And for the people who are currently maybe their car is within the range of 4 to 5 years old, having maybe their intention is, I want to change a car.
Yeah.
Within the next 1.5 years of this tax incentive, it's good for you to go and look up and evaluate the various EV model that is available in Malaysia. We now have, I think, Hyundai, Volvo, BMW, Mercedes, Tesla, and I know there's a few more coming officially to Malaysia. You should evaluate the opportunity to actually own an EV at an affordable price at this point.
Right. Thank you so much, Farhan, for the opportunity to interview you and to share more about your Tesla journey, about your experience, and about your passion in EV vehicles and also Tesla.
Yeah.
Do you have anything that you would like to share with our viewers out there?
Well, if you want to look out for this black or dark silver Tesla, just say hi to me.
Okay, thank you so much, Farhan.
All right,
thank you.
Bye.
Okay, bye.